Conditions at the border continue to get worse as crowds grow even bigger tonight, just 2 days away from the end of Title 42. We're live.
Plus, what mild cognitive impairment means for quality of life and the resources available here in San Diego. We meet a couple living with MCI.
And in the Zevely Zone, we step back in time into a famous kitchen. CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
This is CBS 8 News Live at 6.
More chaos at the border today as thousands of migrants continue to wait for the end of Title 42. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. The COVID-era policy expires Thursday night, allowing migrants to apply for asylum in the U.S. Shannon Handy joins us live from the border tonight with the latest on the conditions there. Shannon.
Carlo and Marcella, I have reported from this same spot outside the border wall just near Las Americas Outlet Mall several times, and I've watched over the past several days the crowd grow with more people showing up, many more children showing up, and while the atmosphere is relatively calm, there's a lot of confusion in this crowd with many wondering what happens when Title 42 expires. Now, I spoke with County Supervisor Jim Desmond today, who has similar concerns, including not having enough resources to handle the influx. Compared to just a few days ago, there are now hundreds more migrants along this section of the border wall in San Ysidro. Last week, there were dozens. Many have set up makeshift tents. They come from all over the world, including this woman who traveled from the country of Georgia.
And we was hoping that everything gonna be way easier, to don't struggle this much.
Medea says it hasn't just been a long journey, it's been a confusing one as well. People don't know how the asylum process works. Many have tried using an online app to start their claim but can't get through. Border Patrol agents have given out wristbands to keep track of migrants, but there are still several questions surrounding their use.
It's chaotic and it's disorganized. Sometimes I will look someone in the eye and say, "How are you doing? It must have been tough," and they will burst into tears, including the men.
Nina Douglas has been visiting the border daily to drop off water, food, and blankets. Aside from the confusion, she's seen the desperation grow out here. We witnessed her trying to comfort a crying woman. Not only that, but there are a number of health issues. This morning, Border Patrol agents transported a young baby whose mother said had stopped eating and was throwing up. Later on, we watched as agents transported a mother with a severe leg injury. I asked San Diego County Supervisor Jim Desmond about the growing crisis and if the county is prepared for a potential surge of migrants once Title 42 expires on Thursday.
We're not prepared for it. We don't have the resources, and we're not being given additional resources by the federal or state government.
For now, Desmond says the county is relying on organizations such as Catholic Charities and Jewish Family Service who have helped with migrant surges in the past. Beyond that, he says the board is pushing for more funding as well as a streamlined process so that once migrants are allowed to cross, they're taken care of and don't wind up in our streets.
It really comes down to a function of not having, a good process to get people, in and across the border into our country and do it legally.
And keep in mind, a lot of these migrants will not be allowed to cross into the U.S. They will be denied their claims and turned back. Now, President Biden did speak with Mexico's president today. The two leaders agreed to work together on this issue and to help resolve some of the problems associated with this crisis, among them bringing in more Border Patrol agents to help process some of these claims more quickly.
I think we can all agree that that is needed, Shannon. Over the past few days, we've seen several Border Patrol vans and buses. Do we know if any of the migrants have been transported to processing facilities just yet?
Yeah, Marcella, throughout the day, we saw that here in this location. And just a couple of hours ago, we did notice that groups of people were being put onto vans and those vans were leaving this area. But it's unclear how those groups are being organized, who was chosen, and where those vans are going. So this is a question that we are asking Border Patrol. We did reach out to them today, but have not heard back. One thing I should mention as well, in addition to the volunteers that have been coming here to drop off goods and food for these migrants, we did see Border Patrol officers bring in water today, cases of water, and hand them out to these migrants.
The weather is starting to get warmer. So many logistical challenges. We'll stay on top of it. Thanks for that update tonight, Shannon.
A former San Diego sheriff's deputy accused of possessing child pornography pleaded not guilty in court this afternoon. San Diego police arrested 51-year-old Jose Soto exactly 1 week ago. Detectives say they searched his Chula Vista home and found child porn along with an assault rifle. The sheriff's department tells us that he retired from his position in January of 2022, but had been hired back as a part-time worker. The department released him from his job upon arrest. A preliminary hearing got underway today for a young couple from City Heights charged with murdering their 3-month-old baby girl. Witnesses testified baby Delilah died from malnutrition and neglect. As CBS 8's David Gottfredson reports, family members say they tried to intervene almost from the moment the baby was born.
They showed no care. They didn't give a shit what was happening.
Annie Chapman took the witness stand Tuesday in the preliminary hearing for her niece, Elizabeth Uckman, and her husband, Brandon Copeland. Both are in their 20s, and both are now charged with murder in the death of their 3-month-old daughter, Delilah.
My biggest concern was they couldn't even keep a dog alive for 3 months, and I felt that there was no way they'd be able to keep a human alive.
Chapman testified her niece didn't even know she was pregnant with Delilah until she went into labor. She said the apartment the couple lived in was trashed and unhealthy, and the entire family tried to intervene, including calling child welfare services on multiple occasions.
I don't know of any family member that wasn't pushing for adoption. And all of us collectively agreed that the best for this baby would be adoption.
And that was communicated to Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Repeatedly?
Repeatedly.
In November 2021, San Diego police were called to the apartment on Maple Street in City Heights and found baby Delilah on the floor.
She didn't respond she looked like a toy. She didn't have any weight to her. She just felt like a prop.
Officers performed CPR and rushed the child to the hospital, but she could not be saved. The ER doctor told a detective his opinion about the cause of death.
He told me she appeared malnourished, dehydrated, too anemic to survive. He said that he didn't believe she was injured or abused, but believed she had been neglected.
On cross-examination, defense attorneys indicated the young mother suffered from mental illness. If convicted of murder, both the mother and father face 25 years to life in prison. Testimony will resume tomorrow morning. After the preliminary hearing is over, the judge will decide if there's enough evidence for the case to go to trial. At the downtown courthouse, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
All right, David, thanks. Families who have lost loved ones to fentanyl are pushing state lawmakers to bring State Bill 44 to a vote. Today, some of those families rallied at the office of Senate Pro Tem Tony Atkins. SB 44, also known as Alexandria's Law, would give dealers a warning if they're caught a first time. If they are caught after that, they could face murder charges if their product kills someone. The bill has bipartisan support, but it is stalled in committee. Senator Atkins' office released a statement in response calling for the bill to be brought forward to the floor.
Hundreds of nurses from across the state marched to the Capitol today demanding more be done to address a staffing shortage.
They were met by a handful of lawmakers ready to get to work. Our political reporter Morgan Reiner caught up with them, including one nurse from Chula Vista.
The nurses have a list, starting with $500 million to invest in nursing schools. They said ultimately it's the patients who suffer if this crisis is not fixed.
We need staff. Enough is enough.
Hundreds of nurses marched the streets, asking to talk to the people at the top.
We're asking for safer staffing levels. We're wanting to hold the government accountable for the laws that are already in place.
Laura Tayaban is an ICU nurse in Chula Vista.
While I did work through the whole pandemic, it's been trying.
She supports all 4 items being asked of lawmakers. AB 1603 by Assemblymember Evan Lowe to enforce the California Department of Health's nursing staff ratios.
Making sure that we have the mechanisms and the teeth to help ensure that they are following the law and helping to ensure patient protection.
Assembly Bill 1695 will create a high school nursing 101 course with automatic admission into the nearest community college.
I don't know if you're aware, but the privatized of nursing schools, I'm out of breath now, nursing schools, they're charging up to $145,000 for your bachelor's degree in nursing. Associate's degree, $80,000. For your associate's degree, that's criminal.
Riverside nurse Monique Nicole Hernandez said money must be funneled into the community college nursing schools. The United Nurses Association of California is asking for $500 million.
There's going to be a whole lot of nurses retiring in the next few years. The staffing is only going to get worse, and them putting money into the schools and kind of giving a clear path into the education will really help us, and this will benefit everyone.
When it comes to enforcing the ratios that are already law, I asked Assemblymember Evan Lowe how they would go about enforcing it. Are we talking about fines, probation? He told me all options are on the table.
Something needs to be done.
Yeah, it sounds like we need to really invest in our public health because
Absolutely.
That's an issue. Still ahead tonight, a jury has found former President Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation.
Plus, does this viral video really show hundreds of people illegally entering the U.S.? We verify.
Well, tonight, I just thought this was a really cool shot. You got the cloud cover in the distance. We had high clouds today. We're talking about the cloud cover rolling in, deepening of the marine layer. Could even squeeze out a few showers. We'll go ahead and take a look at your complete forecast coming up.